if you're this incredibly superpowered individual,
you gotta cover your super junk.
Well, you should cover your super junk.
You need a second layer on it. Hey everybody, I'm Amy Newman.
And I'm Chris Carr. And we are two filthy casuals.
Yeah, we are.
I forgot who we were for a second.
And we know that getting into a new fandom can be intimidating with all the gatekeepers out there.
And all the various super pets and variations of them out there in the world. That's why on this podcast, we have somebody come on, or it's summer and one of us just talks about something they like. And that way you can dip your toe into a fandom sans judgment.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Superman.
Ooh, like anything?
Well, okay. Let's see. He is an alien.
Yes.
From Krypton?
Yeah, absolutely he is. Well done.
He works at a newspaper.
He does.
But it's not the Spider-Man one.
No, that's the Daily Bugle.
That's the one I was going to say. Oh, no, don't have that.
That's okay.
But he does work at it, and he's Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And then he's Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to smooch Lois Lane.
Always.
And now I know he has a dog.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about.
Very pumped about him having a dog. Love the dog. He works for the Daily Planet.
Daily Planet.
You knew it.
That's close.
It was back there.
No.
But I do think that kind of thing is important, though, to do what is just like the kind of cultural zeitgeist understanding of who Superman is.
Yes.
Because he is such a American icon and now global icon and everything. So it's always, I think, important to remember most of your average movie-going audience doesn't know all the minutia. He's a character who's been around since the 1930s, 40s.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Yes.
More powerful than a locomotive.
Yeah.
Leap, tall buildings, sing about.
Yeah. See, you know the things.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Exactly. And for a long time, he was part of Truth, Justice, and the American Way. But that's kind of gotten expanded over the years because he's an alien. So he's not an American. I mean, he is, but, he also is an ambassador of our planet.
Do you get dual citizenship? Lucky son of a bitch.
I don't know if he did. But there's really great comic panels back from like the 1950s when it was Action Comics of him calling out people, being like, hey, we're a country of immigrants. So, I mean, he doesn't say this, but it's basically don't be a douchebag. It's him going, that's what makes our country great is that we're all different religions, races, and creeds. And if you see people not honoring that, they're the problem. Yeah. And going into this film, James Gunn has said that this is, mostly about common kindness and doing the right thing, but also it's an immigrant story.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm pro all of that.
So lots of fun stuff.
Pro kindness.
Pro kindness, honestly, in this timeline, very important.
You wouldn't guess it based on my actions, but I like the general idea of it.
Pro kindness, pro whimsy.
For someone not me.
Other people love it.
But I'm a catty little bitch.
I don't think you're catty. I think you have an ability to be so should you choose to be.
It's in there. But he has a dog.
He has a dog.
I guess I knew that.
Mm-hmm. But he's also, I mean, I think most people think of it as this goofy thing that superheroes have dogs. And why wouldn't they, though? They've got needs. They need to have a little guy to come home to and greet them and tell them, well, not tell them, just make them feel special.
Yeah. Because I feel like, if he's the ultimate good guy, he should have a dog.
And it should be the goodest boy.
And bad guys have cats? Generally.
A lot of times. We were before you got here, because I was talking about a specific panel I want to show you. Logan was like, oh, are you going to talk about, I think its name is Dexter then, which is a red lantern cat that I think...
Is that a bad guy?
Not really a bad guy, but goes down.
But he has a cat.
Goes down a vengeful path.
So do the math.
Oh, no, he's the cat. Dexter is the cat.
Wait.
And he becomes like, he gets red lantern powers and like avenges his owner. Which, yeah.
My cat would never.
So it would just be like, well, you know how it goes.
Is Eric still there? Because I think he'd be thrilled.
I mean, my dogs, I think, with anyone would go, well, we miss Mom, but...
Do you know how the can opens? We'll make do.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I make my dogs their dog food, and I'm sure the minute somebody else took them, they'd be like, "This is fine. We don't care that much."
Right.
But yeah, Krypto, goodest boy, been around since 1955,
Wow.
and was supposed to be just a one-off character.
He's like 1,000 in dog years.
So many dog years. Woof,
Wow.
literally. And he was supposed to just be in one episode, and it was this a little sad in my opinion of, it's around the time of the space race, and we didn't have a dog go into space till about 1957.
Right.
But the idea was, well, we're not going to test sending our baby to Earth in a rocket ship on the baby. We're going to take one of our domesticated animals from Krypton and put that in a rocket and see if that works okay. And like most things on Krypton, it doesn't go right. And basically, Krypto ends up kind of wandering through space for years in a very similar way to Supergirl. And then finally gets to Earth when Kal-El, or Clark, is a teenager. And so he has this one episode with his dog. And then, or issue, I should say. And then about 4 issues later, they go, "No, this is a great character. We're going to have him interact with Superboy every now and then." And then he was around.
Wait, he was Superboy before he was Superman?
No, there's a separate character.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of super people.
How many supers? How many?
Ooh, Superboy, Superman, Supergirl. So I guess not that many, really. 3.
Is there no Superwoman?
There's Wonder Woman.
No, I know,
but she's different. There's some variations where there's Lois with superpowers.
Okay.
That is a super
Are all
Lois
this
kind of thing.
are Superboy and Supergirl also from Krypton?
Supergirl is. In most iterations, Superboy is not. He's usually a clone of Clark.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's usually a mixture of his DNA and Lex Luthor's DNA. So.
How'd that happen? I'd like to
We've all seen it, Colt.
a brief story I wrote.
Just, well.
I don't know much, but
And now knowing that as part of the Superman, lore, and seeing all those promos, I'm like, do it, you cowards, come on. Let's go.
Interesting.
But basically, he is like a regular dog. Same kind of thing that happens with humans and our dogs happens on Krypton, where it's that parallel evolution of all of us raising each other and having a symbiotic relationship. But they're slightly smarter than us. And because of the whole...
Wait, the dogs are smarter than the people?
Oh, no, smarter than our dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So maybe Krypto's a little smarter than us, who's to say.
Well.
Certain people, for sure. But has, some super strength, can fly. And that's all because of just how Superman is powered by our yellow sun. Krypto also has the benefits of that as well, being kind of supercharged.
What?
Yeah. Oh, do you know? Oh, that's another part. So Superman, one of the reasons why...
I love when you just say things so confidently and look at me like...
After I'm just like, no, you know about Superman. You said a couple things. That's great. Yeah, the reason why...
Ma'am, you heard the end of the list. He wears a sassy little blue suit.
Yes.
That's
usually with underoos on the outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the outside underoos?
Positive.
Yeah.
No, I haven't thought about it too much.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing. Those are... I'm going to give them benefit of... I would call those like a swim trunk at...
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I
don't have the little band.
Yeah. It's not not your skivvies on the outside.
It's classic.
Mm-hmm. I think it's tasteful.
I think it's... It's tastefully sexy.
Well, and comic book writers have talked about this, and then David Cornsweet has also talked about this too, of if you're this incredibly superpowered individual,
you gotta cover your super junk.
Well, you should cover your super junk.
You need a second layer on it.
But also, you don't want to be super intimidating to the people you're saving, particularly kids and things. So he wears bright colors and looks like a traditional
and
kind
has
of
an
superhero
extra layer
to protect.
Because, here's the thing. We laugh a lot here.
Here at Two Healthy Casuals. We have some fun.
I feel like we've had a lot of fun here, but let's have a serious conversation about
covering. Sit backwards in the futon?
Covering your super gig.
Well,
no, but we laugh a lot about in their underwear over their clothes. Picture it without.
Oh, and they've done it.
Picture just one solid color the whole way down.
I don't like
that.
I don't either.
I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
That's going to make your legs look disproportionately small. One. 2, am I seeing too much?
Mm.
I don't want to see David Corn's sweat. You know what I mean?
I don't need to see the cob. I really don't.
I mean, would I? Sure.
But once you've seen one.
Here, but not here. But not in this film.
Not in this context of just, oh, hello.
That's not Superman.
Yeah.
That's Batman, maybe.
That's the internet. Throw them corn cobs when you don't necessarily want them and go, that's not where I expected it.
I just recently learned I do know this actor from Pearl.
Oh, yeah, he's in that.
Didn't know.
My introduction to him was in Hollywoodland, the Ryan Murphy show, where it's a little bit of a reimagining of old Hollywood.
Didn't see it.
He's great in it.
He's great in Pearl.
He seems lovely. Seems wonderful. And on top of, having this little super dog in the movie, he just recently adopted a dog. I think recently adopted a dog. But it's been on the tour with him. And it's a little Cocker Spaniel named Ira. And it wears the little Superman outfit. It's so cute. They're so good with the marketing of this movie. Right? Honestly, at this point, it just doesn't have to be a train wreck. And I'm like, take all my money.
We got that. We got Nikki Holt Blondegate.
We should talk about that. This is a Krypto episode, but let's talk about that hair. Because
Nicholas Holt has gone bleach blonde.
Yes.
And I don't want to like it.
Ooh.
It's working for him.
I felt like a changed person when I saw that photo. Well, you saw my texts back to you.
Yep.
I made so many Scooby-Doo noises. I'm just, went full Tim the Tool Man.
It's good, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I really have to say. Good. So I don't get us.
Good job.
I'd say demonetized, but that would require us being monetized. So actually, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. Chug some of that Celsius and say what you want. Speak your truth, queen.
No, I'm not always pro. Certainly faux blonde on men is bold. Mm-hmm. But it's working.
I feel like this maybe made you question your value system of blonde hair.
Or an exception that proves the rule.
Very true.
Additionally, we were just discussing Carrie Elwes allowed to be blonde.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's fine. He is blonde. I have some biases
really,
I'm working
really
through.
Dreamy.
Yeah. Well, he also gets points. Nicholas Hoult also gets points because the most powerful thing a man can do, I'm going to say it, the sluttiest thing a man can do is have long sleeves with a button up and push them up to his elbow.
Yes.
So his forearms are visible. That's good. I'm using the word. I'm reclaiming the word. It's positive. It's slutty. It's working. Nicholas Hoult said, I take that and I raise you a T-shirt pushed up over my shoulders with my little Ken doll hair. I see you, sir.
Well done.
I see you, sir. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Did that move the needle further for you going, yeah, I'll see this movie?
I mean, I was going to see it either way.
Did you get more excited about the movie?
Well, no, he's bald in this.
He is bald in this, but I didn't know if you were like, man, I got to go support that.
And so I'm going to bring a little cutout of blonde hair. And
keep putting it right over him going, that's my guy. I'm hoping you do that because I'm going to see this Thursday. Well, you're out of town. But if you want to go see it again, I now have my A-list. And I think I joined your entourage correctly. Yes.
Let me check. Hold on. Pause.
I clicked the link.
We did it, folks. We bullied Chris Carr into getting A-list.
Cyberbullying works, and you should use it for
and
good.
in-person bullying. I gave her so many swirlies. And now, in my entourage, let's see. Because you can add... I'm just going to start 2 pending. Confirmed. And another friend is also confirmed. I'm very popular now.
I didn't realize that when I was putting in my billing information that it would refer to me as Christine.
Funny.
And so now I think that A-list is always mad at me and I'm in trouble. So
the funniest thing about being in someone's AMC A-list is I could just book movies without your consent.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think it's very funny that like I could just
We're seeing this.
I don't have the energy. I don't want to get rejected, so I'm just going to book a ticket and see if you show up. Just see if you notice.
My memory is so bad that I'd be like, oh, Amy probably told me about this.
Get in, loser. We're going to Jurassic World.
I do still need to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to.
Yeah, me too.
I see that in F1. Yeah. I've heard it's really good.
I saw Gran Turismo. Is that not enough for you people?
I don't think that movie was enough for most people. Oh, I think my favorite line coming out of that movie was Logan going, wow, David Harbour's shoulders must really hurt from carrying that whole film. That's how it felt.
He's great in it.
Yeah.
He's great in everything.
So
But Krypto. Okay, so let's see this good boy. Hold on, you have a picture here, and I do want to see him.
Okay, so this is, I think, one of the best covers of him. This is by Alex Ross.
Okay, so I feel like that is like a capital D dog.
Yeah.
Like that is like an all-American, I bad with dog breeds, but like a bigger.
Well, and here he's kind of like pity looking a little bit too, which I love. Because those are dogs that are wildly misunderstood and are so caring. They were originally seeing eye dogs.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, that's what they were originally intended to be. And then people started using them for dog fights. So that's why, my little soapbox. Dogs are only aggressive if you
just bad owners.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's your problem. That's your fault. He's just such a good boy. This originally came out, I believe, in 2008. Yeah. But this is the comic that I recommend most people read too if they're like, I don't really think Krypto's like a real character. It seems kind of goofy or whatever. There's this story in which Atlas, who is sometimes a hero, sometimes an anti-hero, kind of falls into that same category like Namor does in the Marvel universe.
Or me on this podcast.
Where sometimes we're like, which way is she going to go today?
What's she going to say about blonde men, you know? Get myself canceled.
Hero or villain. But so he kind of
fine. If you're blonde and you're a man, that's
fine.
great.
It's fine.
Live your truth.
And or if you're not naturally blonde, but you feel that's your truth. That's fine too. That's fine too.
That's fine.
That's fine. I've been blonde.
Have you?
I have. I've been all of them. Yeah. Just to keep things spicy.
I just can't picture you blonde.
It wasn't great. I'll be real honest. It's like, I don't think this is working for me.
Just because I'm too lazy to upkeep my roots doesn't mean you have to be. So live your truth.
Exactly.
It's a bit. It's a bit. I don't actually hate blonde men.
If you couldn't see that, that means you're listening to this on a podcast. Go to the YouTube page so you can see Amy's face for that moment.
That means the lawyers are happy. The blonde men of America won't sue me.
Whew, all right. But in this comic, he's fighting Atlas, who kind of lines up with the mythological figure Atlas, super strength and vulnerability, that sort of thing. And there's this really great panel. I'm going to try to find this here for you. Where, oh, come on, load. There we go. Krypto is basically, he comes to Superman's aid. And this is a point in time where people are really scared of this superpowered dog because that's pretty terrifying to have something that has almost all the same strength abilities as Superman that's just got a canine brain running around your city. He's not super welcome. He's created a lot of damage and things like that before too. And so in this moment, we have this
day to be a mail truck, you know.
Yeah, scary. But we have Krypto come up and we just hear his thoughts. Usually, pretty much exclusively, we're not going to have Krypto speaking. It's just every now and then we get the like inner thoughts of Krypto, that kind of thing. And in this one, he just has, man, this one hurt man. Krypto loves man. Krypto hurt this one. Man loves place. I protect place for man. Krypto good boy.
Krypto.
Right?
So no one can hear his thoughts, though. Like Superman can't?
No.
So we're just getting that as
just what
reader.
Yeah. Exactly. This is the Superman equivalent to the Art of Racing in the Rain, where we're getting the dog's perspective.
Gotcha.
And it's just a heartbreaking little panel of everything he does is just fueled by how much he loves Clark.
Is that a turning point? Everyone loves Krypto after, please.
Superman calls out the city of Metropolis in another panel, and it says, "This is your dog now too." And it's real, but it's really emotional, and you're like, "That's right. Everyone should love him."
Yeah,
because he's just a good boy.
Can he fly?
He can fly.
Oh,
yeah. Which is pretty wild.
So then the dog we get in the movie he's not a big striking pit bull.
No, he's actually slightly modeled after James Gunn's own adopted dog.
Stop.
That's why he put him in the movie.
Stop.
It's so cute. So he named his dog Ozu, I believe is what his name is, after a Japanese director who did Tokyo Story and stuff like that. Let me show you this little guy.
Please.
Because he also was like,
this.
oh.
Welcome to 40 minutes of me looking at dogs. Stop.
Yep.
What a
So
little
now,
freak.
like-
I love him.
Well-
I love dogs that just, it's like your dogs where it's just like, oh.
Electrocuted Muppets with floppy.
Someone put like a real dog in the dryer. And I
Absolutely.
love it.
He's the cutest little guy.
Stop.
He's
That
so
face.
cute. The ears pretty much always up, and part of the adoption process apparently was, I want that one with the stupid ear. I want that one. And apparently he was just a mess. He was destroying things constantly because he was just scared and in a new place and trying to learn how to behave and trying to figure out how to interact with people and everything. And this was while James Gunn was first starting on Superman, and it was, oh my God, what if Uzo had powers like Krypto? And so there's a lot of that in there apparently of just, well, what if your dog is just a dog but has all these extra abilities and is just trying his best?
Yeah. And that's so humanizing too for a character that I think I'm really excited for this movie because I have my little blonde hair cut out and I'm going to have a great time. But
that's gonna be
also
really nice.
because Superman, I think I wrongfully, I will admit, feel can be a little boring as a character, right? Like, I feel like if he's not done well, or my general idea of him, and granted, like, I want to watch some of the, like, good Superman movies before this comes out or before I get a chance to see it, or at least after, or whatever. Because I realize I'm missing some of the, like, no, these are, like, good movies.
Yeah.
But my general idea of Superman, having not consumed a lot of the content, is just like, oh, he's kind of the least interesting of the... It's like Batman, you're kind of morally gray, and there's this whole noir kind of element. And Superman is just like, he's so powerful, and he's just a fucking Boy Scout.
Yep.
And it is hard of how do you make that interesting? How do you make that human? How do you not make him so super powered that nothing feels like a struggle? How do you not make him just so like clean cut Boy Scout while still honoring who this character is? Because I know that's also been an issue in the past of like, well, you can't make him edgy. Like that's...
Well, and you have to make sure, this is my one issue with like the Snyderverse.
That's because I saw one of those and it was like, this doesn't feel right to me.
My bigger issue was with Pa Kent than with Kal-El. The moment of like, you shouldn't have saved those kids, Clark.
Yeah.
Was,
But
whoa!
but I think an overall misunderstanding of like what Superman's universe should look like and what we want from a Superman movie.
Yeah, and there is great merit to those movies. And also, for the people who are a fan of Zack Snyder and that, they'll always exist.
Yeah.
Right? Go make sure you have physical media, so you always have that version if that is your version of Superman. I love that this really leans into the bright comic book colors of what I associate with Superman.
Yeah.
I love that this does feel like a world removed from my own with some familiarity. Because
Yeah.
that's what comics, I think, should do, is hold a mirror up to your world and go, sure, fantastical things can happen here, but also, can't you relate to this? Or doesn't this make this topic that you all are having a really hard time wrapping your heads around a little bit more digestible because we're using allegory, because we're using larger than life characters?
And I think generally that's something James Gunn has proven he's very smart about as someone working with these superhero characters, of this idea of I care about this character as a character, and then they happen to have these powers that add this layer to it.
Yeah.
So I'm optimistic.
Well, and that's such a James Gunn thing, because Marvel typically has been, here's a regular person in an extraordinary circumstance or given an extraordinary gift. And DC a lot of times tended to figure on, here are gods
Yeah.
thrust into human situations, or being the kind of people who have to navigate and safeguard humanity. And what seems really interesting about this, obviously we haven't seen the movie yet, is that idea of, I want to be so human. I love how flawed these people are, and I want to be like them. And I have to constantly, this is a really cool thing in a lot of Superman stories that I don't think it's focused on enough. I have to be so gentle navigating this world so I don't harm someone accidentally.
Because of his strength and his,
He has to really pull back his punches, which is another Krypto thing of there are things with this dog where he just tries to do dog stuff.
He doesn't know, yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm going to scratch at the door to get out. Well, the door's gone now. That doesn't exist anymore.
God, if my cat had that power this morning.
Everyone
get in the comments and tell Risotto to chill, and I'll show it to him.
What was he doing? Just constant?
Yeah, I think it's because it's hot. He usually, like, his feeder goes off, and this is so interesting. His feeder goes off, and then he at 6 and at 9, and usually he'll eat, and then he'll just come cuddle with Eric, not me. But that's
rude.
He hates me. It's fine. We're roommates. Eric is his papa, and I am his roommate. But I think because it's been hot, he's like, let's fucking go. So now he's in the room. He's meowing. He's pawing at the door.
Little guy. And if he was supercharged, if he got that red lantern, oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
So when it was announced that Krypto would be a part of this movie, did it, because I'm not in the Superman fandom. Was this oh, hell yeah, finally for most people? Or was this yeah?
A lot of people were, that's stupid.
You're stupid. Don't come for my boy Krypto, who I found out existed a week ago. Okay.
Well, and I say that with being in like that movie news bubble of what's in my DMs, what's in the comments, that kind of thing, of people being like, I don't know about this. That's too goofy. This doesn't seem right. This seems right for something that James Gunn is doing, though. It's how I've always felt about it, of look at how he has dealt with found family, humanizing characters, and animal characters. He does a beautiful job with them. I still cry just thinking about Flora and Teefs Go Now.
Boy, Guardians 3 is a really good movie I don't think I'll ever watch again.
Because I've tried to watch it again, and it's just sobbing.
It's like, when am I going to be in the mood to do that to myself?
And I genuinely think that's probably my favorite Marvel movie of all time.
It's excellent.
And it's so difficult it's just, maybe I should skip it.
And I have those first two on a soft loop, and then the third one I'm just like, not today.
No. Hyperventilating in my theater. I couldn't get on top of it.
It was brutal.
It was awful. But it's such a good movie. But a lot of people were concerned of, this feels a little goofy. And it also kind of went back to this idea of, is this film going to be overstuffed? Because in the trailers you see the Justice Gang. That's what they're called at this point in time, I guess, which is just like, are you going to tag buildings? What are you doing? But that's, the Green Lantern, Hot Girl, Mr. Terrific. Plus then you have the dog. You didn't know his name was Mr. Terrific?
Who the fuck is Mr. Terrific?
Oh, let me show you.
Stop. I think I hate him.
So basically, his skill set is that he can...
Michael Holt. Like, that's already pretty cool. How do we downgrade to Mr.
Just let your
Terrific?
name be Michael Holt.
Yeah.
But he is super, super smart. He's an engineer and a scientist. He has a whole bunch of technology. And most of the time, too, he can essentially, like, master anything he really puts his mind to. But it's mostly that he is just so smart.
Okay.
And then he has these little T-sphere things. These are these kind of, like, balls that he can attack with.
That's cool. Yeah. Let's work on the name. That is so, like, DC Superman to me. Like, Mr. Terrific.
When I love his mask, though, because it is a T across his face. But it is something where it's, that would really make it so no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
Because it's just this kind of blacked out thing right there where it's, you're removing your most prominent features.
And if he has an oily T-zone, no one will ever know.
Yeah. Just, it's a whole bunch of Biore strips put together, the charcoal ones.
I feel like we used to talk a lot more about T-zones.
We did.
I feel like I haven't heard anyone mention issues with their T-zone.
It's shifted.
It's here and here, and we used to all be very self-conscious about it.
Yes. Well, now, because it's switched to, those aren't blackheads, those are your sebaceous filaments, and they're fine. But annoying, I guess? I don't know.
But then they gave me 7 more things to feel bad. Should I or should I not have hip dips, Chris?
Oh, I feel like you should.
I've been trying to figure this out for years.
I mean, my potentially problematic viewpoint is, I just want a little area to grab here. I think that's nice. That's good for everybody involved.
I agree. So we're getting Mr. Terrific. Finally.
Finally.
Thank God.
A relatively newer character, though, too, because he's 97.
That's so funny because he sounds like he should be from '06.
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific.
Very, very yesteryear.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
a lot of people, because of all those characters already being in there, were concerned about Krypto. And then there's the added layer of, have you seen in the trailer that we watched, does that have Krypto jumping on him? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Well, people had a problem then, too, with, oh, I don't understand why Krypto's jumping all over him while he's hurt and doing this, which is another moment of, have you ever had a dog?
Right.
They are incredible emotional empaths, but also at first it's, oh, hey, let's play.
Mm.
Or when they greet a person, a friend of the show, Tanya LaHoo, her dog constantly just nut checks every man that she sees because she just wants to play, and that's near her. You know, she isn't mean to, but she's a dog.
Yeah.
And so people had
Doesn't
an issue. Maybe. I don't know. It might be
Miss
her
Andrews just on. Lily.
putting Logan in his place each time.
know
Just,
what?
hey, good to see you. Ciao. She also does think she's like 5 pounds, though, which I love a dog like that. I love it.
Relatable.
If you start randomly climbing in people's laps, though, that's when we're going to have a talk.
I'm so tiny. You can't even feel it.
We really have to work on that before we have guests back.
I weigh 3 apples.
And no
Can't
more.
you wait to be in my A-list entourage?
Just as you climb
We
over
come
into
to
my
this
seat.
place. I'm a little.
I know you're in seat C12, but so am I. I am excited about MacGuffins, though.
When's the last time you heard Nicole, you know?
It's been a minute. It's been...
Oh, and then there's a Coca-Cola ad
Mm.
of people dancing and driving in a car. And it's not that long, but it feels so long.
I do like that AMC has your movie will start 25 to 30 minutes after
They
these show
just started
times.
doing that.
That's nice.
AMC Hive in the chat. How much do we hate that? The couple dancing and then they're in the rain and she hands him a Coke and they're driving in a car. Why does that feel 45 minutes long? Why does that feel 25 to 30 minutes?
Ooh, I am excited and upset about this already.
Bring back the AMC film strip, man. I loved him when I was a kid.
I remember that guy.
Was it a crush? I don't know. I don't want to unpack that today. I was 5.
Yeah.
I didn't know,
Yeah, that's fine.
but I knew enough. So show me the Krypto from the movie. Because he's a scruffy little guy, isn't he?
Yeah. He basically does look like James Gunn, James Gunn's dog, but just white.
Oh.
Look at this little guy.
I like that he's kind of scruffy. I like that they didn't go... Because, I feel like lab or golden retriever is even kind of the obvious choice.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he's one of those. I don't know.
He's just sweet looking.
I feel like that's also such a popular type of dog right now that, I don't know, kind of a terrier something mix. Everybody has one of those.
Yeah. He's just big Gimli.
Yeah.
He's if Gimli wasn't neutered before 4 months, which was
Yeah.
not my choice. I had a vet yell at me. They're like, how dare you get this dog neutered so young? And I was like, I didn't do it. I adopted him.
He's doing the ear in that one.
This is the first image that they had released.
He's doing
And
the same. If you look up James Gunn's dog, he has the one little ear up, and Krypto does too, and I
it's
love that.
so great. And yeah, he's referred to as he's a not so good boy. Because he's just trying his best.
I'm excited. I think that'll be very humanizing.
I think it'll be very, very sweet. And I think that's the other thing that's so important about Clark is always giving people, animals, whatever, the benefit of the doubt, the capacity that they are capable of good. With the exception is Lex Luthor is the person who always pushes him. And he's like,
everyone's good except that bald bitch. It's on site.
and he tries, and it's another
Yeah.
humanizing thing of, but there is this one person who my life probably would be easier if I got rid of him, but that's not who I can be, and that's not what I want to be.
Mm.
And when they've done stories, kind of what if things, where it's Superman just finally does take him out, it's horrible, and it leads him down a really scary path, and gets the public to distrust him, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So He usually thinks that everyone has the capacity for good, and I think that's the exciting thing about this movie too, is it's in one of the trailers too of when it becomes so complicated to do the right thing, and it's that's a great sound clip, but also that's a really complicated question when it comes to how you're dealing with foreign policy or, political issues or things like that. What gives you the right to be the person to swoop in and save the day when everyone has their own perspective on how things are turning out for the most part?
And this movie is set present day?
Yes, but it does seem like it is a universe kind of outside of our own. So not a kind of
aesthetically kind of using what's interesting, but
Well, and DC Comics has also always had this kind of idea of, sure, it's Kansas and other places like that, but it's been these comic book towns like Metropolis, like Gotham, like Bloodhaven, these other places that
Who's
are...
Bloodhaven?
Oh, Bloodhaven is another town kind of close to Gotham, and that's where Dick Grayson ends up going to work for several years when he's becoming Nightwing, and he's trying to, like, not just be Batman's protege, but be his own guy. It's a crazy name, though, right?
Yeah.
Bloodhaven.
Doesn't sound great.
No. He went there for crime.
Welcome to Murder Dick USA.
That was the first name they tried, actually, and censors were like, hey, maybe no.
That's actually the hero who doesn't have underwear on top.
He's Murder Dick.
Murder Dick. We got Murder Dick and Mr. Terrific.
Perfect. What a dynamic duo.
I'd read it. So if people want to catch up on Krypto, what was the one you were saying you recommend?
Superman 680,
okay,
which is from a 4-part arc with Atlas. So I think it's called...
And when is Krypto coming into play in the timeline of the comics?
Ooh, all over the place. So 1955 was the first appearance.
Yes.
And then kind of peppers in throughout.
Okay.
He had he was in lots of animated shows. He obviously had the movie too, where Dwayne Johnson voiced him. Okay. And Kevin Hart was Batman's dog.
Sure. That feels like the timeline we're in.
Yeah.
Film wise. Yeah.
Just sure, why not? But again, what was mostly weird about that one was, but they don't like talk. So okay, sure. This is like Secret Life of Pets, but with Batman and Superman's dogs. Cool. All right. Nice.
Sure.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of different issues you can read, but if you want to read...
some artists use this as a plot point, and then some Superman just doesn't have a dog.
Sometimes he just doesn't have a dog. And sometimes, early days, he because he was such a difficult to train animal and everything too, and people were scared, a lot of times he's at the Fortress of Solitude with some of the robots and things that run that place. But a fun detail is a lot of times he is, the robots have Superman's scent so that they still associate.
It's like when you leave a shirt for your pet.
Exactly. Oh, and then when he's on the Kent's farm, because they can't call him Krypto.
Yeah.
He's Skippy.
Skippy.
Which I think is so sweet. And to anyone who's like, that's confusing for a dog, if you own a pet, that pet has like 7,000 names.
Every animal is Bubba to me.
I always call mine Bubba.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What is the most unhinged thing you call your pet?
Ooh. I'll sometimes sing to them being like, my little tiny sausage man is one. Logan calls Gimli Gimlord Crumpets. And Trico his little English muffin.
Of course.
But yeah, I think singing like my little sausage boy is probably the weirder ones I do.
I like it.
Or I just make up songs while I'm like petting their little butts and being like, you're a tiny man, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Risotto
is poo poo pee pee papa. Sometimes he's being a little poo poo pee pee papa, and you got to call him out.
You got to tell him.
Look, I'm just calling it like I see it.
I think you brought this up on one of our main feed podcasts ages ago, Stinky Binky.
Oh, well, sure. There's a Stinky Binky. Ooh, where
how does that apply to cats, and how does that apply to Krypto?
Every cat is at least 70% stinky.
Okay.
The remaining 50, because orange cats. If you haven't heard this yet, every animal exists somewhere on the spectrum from stinky to binky. Stinky is when they're like side eye stinky, right? And binky is when they're like binky.
Yeah.
The words mean what they mean. Just look into your heart, you understand.
Gimli, Binky.
Binky.
Trico?
50-50.
Yeah. With a propensity for stinky.
Every cat is at least 50% stinky.
Makes sense.
That remaining 50 could be still stinky, could be binky. I feel like Krypto is entirely binky.
Yeah, it seems like it. He's so sweet. I love his little face. And also, I mean, we've talked in a lot of other fandoms, like, that is so toyetic. I want a plush.
Yep.
I would get another Funko Pop.
Yep.
Don't need him, but I would get him with that little guy.
I hope the thing happens like when sometimes there's animals in movies and then everybody adopts little babies that kind of look like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like black cat adoptions went up after Flo came out.
Oh, yeah.
Which, as a black cat mama, let me hit your things. Fuck your iPad in particular, Christine.
Oh, no. Oh, no, she's so disappointed in me.
So yeah, I hope some little Kryptos get home.
I do too. And remember, if you do get a dog, that little buddy could be your buddy for decades. Gimli just turned 15.
Yeah. Well, and that is actually one thing I think I also kind of like is this idea of it being an adjustment process and it being somewhat difficult because genuinely, like quick sidebar, Risotto is the first pet I've had that is like fully mine.
Yeah.
And my husband's, but like the first like pet I really picked and adopted and, you know, I would really call my pet. And some of the best advice someone gave me, and I do think it's an important conversation that sometimes we skip because so often when we hear these adoption stories, it is just it's so so sweet, so cute, it's my best friend. But someone gave me really good advice of like, this is a major change for you and it's a major change for them. And if it's difficult for a while, if there are speed bumps or times that feel hard or like you're not adjusting quite as fast as you thought you would, or they're adjusting quite as fast as you thought that's totally fucking normal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I even like seeing that narrative in media of getting a dog doesn't just mean it's perfect and you're best friends and everything just goes smoothly or you need to give the dog up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just a bit of work.
Yeah. Gimli was an angel from day one, obviously. He's a sweet, sweet man.
Yeah.
And getting Trico, I was like, same thing, especially because I'm getting him so much younger. We got him at 6 weeks. So there was a month where he could not go outside till we could give him all of his shots. And I looked at Logan one day and went, I think I hate him. I think I hate this little dog because he had eaten like 3 webcams, all my XLR cables. And it would just be, I would leave him alone to go like record something for work because, pandemic times and stuff. And he would just destroy everything.
Yeah.
But it's because he was a tiny little guy who was just figuring out that he existed.
Sure.
And also, like, he's so much smaller than everything. At that point in time, he could fit in your palm. We'd lose him in shoes. I went out and Logan was like, I think our dog got raptured. I was like, surely not that one. That's not the one who'd get chosen.
In a shoe?
In a shoe. Oh, have we not shown you the tiny baby Trico pictures?
No.
Oh, Logan will absolutely bore you for like 45 minutes being like, look at my son.
Fantastic.
It's great. Yeah. But I like seeing a little stinky little guy because to your point too, a lot of times, and I know we said it earlier of like, if you have an aggressive dog or your dog does this, it's a trainer problem. It's like, it's a you thing. You do feel like it's all your fault when your animal is misbehaving.
Or like something's wrong with you that it's not easier.
Yeah. Or it's not connecting with you.
Yeah.
Which is just like, this is another reason why I could never be an actual human parent. I'd be like, why don't you like me?
And again, my cat never will. But I'm his roommate.
Mm-hmm.
We have a chore chart.
It's great.
His entire chore chart is just bury your own poop.
He's excellent at
He's
that.
pretty good.
Yeah.
He does pretty good.
Well done. At least you all know your roles.
It's fine.
Is there anything else you need to know about this little guy? Aside from him being just the patootiest of patoots?
I love him, and will he be my friend?
Absolutely. He's such a good boy. He's so sweet. If you want to check him out in other media, he does appear in, things like the Justice Friends. He obviously is in the Super Pets movie, some Superman and Lois episodes. I think he's in there. Smallville, they even have him on there a little bit. So you can go back through and do that. And there's tons and tons of different comics, obviously, since he's been around for that long. But yeah, you can read some Superboy arcs with him. Some fun Superman and Batman stories where he shows up, and Ace the Hound, that's Batman's dog, shows up as well.
Batman doesn't strike me as a dog guy.
He has a Great Dane.
Batman has like a lizard. Like a gecko in a
That he does
terrarium.
seem like he'd be more of an iguana or something kind of guy. That makes more sense. It makes the most sense.
Can you picture Batman throwing something for a dog to fetch?
That's very true. It's a bone, but it's somebody's. It's just an actual human bone.
Batman putting the bag over his hand to pick up a poo-poo.
Oh, well, he'd never do that. That'd be all Alfred.
That's true.
That's this dog makes the most sense, I feel, in Batman Beyond when Bruce is an old man. And then he's got Ace, who is just like his faithful hound near him, and his dog like will attack people.
I guess.
But yeah, he's not all supercharged like Krypto. Yeah. Much like Batman, he's just, fueled by, I guess, vengeance.
Some dogs are like that.
It happens, what can you do? Yeah.
Thank you for talking to me about this dog.
You're welcome. Any dog, anytime. I will chat about.
I haven't seen him yet in the film, but I love him.
He seems so cute.
I love him.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see him. And if you want to see this movie when you come back, let me know. We'll go.
Do. I'll book tickets without asking.
Yes. Perfect.
How do I hack the app to just book one seat? Because I'm so small. I'll just call up in your lap.
It's just us. It's just us. We're just guys.
Snuggling.
Well, guys, let us know. What do you think about Krypto being in this movie? Are you excited? Do you like it? Do you like this character in general? Or are you a terrible person who doesn't like dogs? No, that's not true. You can just not like them. That's fine. You're entitled to. I just get confused when people don't like them.
People can be wrong.
That's fair. If you had a bad experience with a dog, I get that too.
For sure.
Yeah. I love them.
Well, thank you so much for watching. If you want to find us, we are on social media at Two Filthy Casuals Pod. As always, we have audio and video, so find us on YouTube or your podcatcher of choice. Wherever you're watching, if you could subscribe, 5 stars, hit the notification button, all that good stuff helps us a ton. And if you want more episodes of us discussing our hot takes on male hair color and pets,
go find us on that Patreon.
Yeah, patreon.com/twofilthycasualspod for bonus episodes every single month. I love you.
Yeah.
Have a good summer.
Stay cool. Never change.
Unless
you suck, and then please do.
I was going to say unless you're in the Southern Hemisphere and it's not summer, but yeah, yours too.
Just, were you one of those yearbook people? Stay cool, never change.
I don't remember what I wrote.
Oh. It was just, I loved that as a constant from people, where it was just like, I don't feel like we're that close. Stay cool, never change. Nope, please do. Please change, Chris Carr. Become a cooler version of yourself.
I think I tried to write something personal.
Yeah, I usually did. All right.
Thanks for watching. And until next time, I'm Amy Newman.
I'm Chris Carr.
And if you followed this fandom, you'd be home by now.